Hello and welcome to the show. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we brought you the first of Triumph's new smaller motorcycles, the Speed 400, and we liked it very much. Now we bring you the second. It's the Scrambler 400. Now, that term Scrambler is a little bit controversial because, especially here in South Africa, we think of the term Scrambler as an off-road bike, a dirt bike, a plastic bike, a proper, bike for going off-road. Whereas a lot of the modern-day Scramblers, as they call them, are essentially road bikes with a sort of a classic off-road look. So it's more of a styling exercise than anything else. However, as we've discovered, Triumph has a tendency to take its nomenclature a little more seriously than that. Indeed, here it is. And like the Speed 400 road bike, Triumph haven't skimped on the good looks. Even though this bike comes to you courtesy of the workers of India, it looks exactly the same as those coming out of the Hinckley factory in England. Like the products of Britain, it is gorgeously good looking, right up to the little details. But this isn't just about good looks. As we said, Triumph takes its naming seriously. So if it says Scrambler, scrambling is what it must do. And so, although those wheels are not spoked, that front wheel is 19 inches and both are fitted with proper dual-purpose tyres. There's more, because the Scrambler is also fitted with raised off-road handlebars, a protector to guard that LED headlight, 2 wrap-around handguards to protect our hands and levers, a grille covering the hidden black radiator, a sun guard, plus this one has an additional protective scaffolding. And there is a longer off-roady front mudguard. Lastly, it is fitted with clawed foot pegs with rubber inserts that can be removed. And with all this, let's get dirty. Alright, so here we go. We're testing a Scrambler, a modern day Scrambler, with a bike called a Scrambler, on a dirt road. Let's see what that does. Yeah, so you definitely got the Scrambler feel. It's definitely taller than the street. In fact, it is quite tall. I'm a little bit tippy-toe. But no, it's not too bad. I got a little bit more legroom, that's good news. And of course the higher, wider bars, which is also good news. It's rather comfortable. However, there is one bit of luxury not quite there. Of course, some of you might notice that there is absolutely zero wind protection, which is fine on the street because, on the Speed 400, the road bike, because, it's more commuter-ish sort of thing, sort of slow speed, but bikes like this, you might want to cover distance on a bike like this, so not to worry, they've got a stack of accessories. I'm pretty sure there's a screen among them, and honestly, the speed you're going to do on this thing is not stupidly fast. You'll be alright. I do like this sort of seat. Apart from the kind of brown sort of leather kind of old school look about it, it is wide, it is comfortable. I wish there's a bunch of adventure manufacturers. I kind of wish I could say to them, hey, come, use this. Because as you know, seats these days are just getting harder and harder, and no one knows why. I do, because cycling. Because all the test riders at all the factories also cyclists. And to them, a piece of plank or marble is luxury. Not in England though, it's too cold for cycling and it's all just wet all the time. So they know what comfort is. The motor is a 398cc single fed by Bosch ride-by-wire fuel injection. As we said, it is liquid cooled, but Triumph has left those beautiful brushed fins to give it an air-cooled look, making this a case of classical style paired with modern efficiency. That sounds jolly good, and manages to cobble together 40 horsepower and 38 Nm of torque, which is okay. Now the motor is exactly the same as the Speed 400, so it's not bad. As I say, it's not chart topping, but it's not bad.
Although with this bike you can feel that there's definitely a difference. It is a little bit more sluggish than its road counterparts, especially on the sort of more top end, which is obvious really. I mean, it's sort of turning more wheels, it's got more height, it's got more everything to it. But on the dirt, it feels lovely. I mean, just so I'm in 4th gear now, doing around, where am I? 60 kilometers per hour. And it's just lovely. You just kind of open the throttle, nice sort of single, very smooth single, lots of torquiness. Kind of just open the throttle and I mean, I'm not feeling feeling Newton's laws of physics being bent here or anything like that. But it's just nice.
But the Scrambler version of the 400 has one more party trick.
Now, something this does have. So obviously the dash is now. So obviously the dash is the same as also the same as the road bike we rode a couple of weeks ago. It's all a bit weird. Huge gear indicator. The speed is the big analog thing, and I keep having to sort of look down what I'm doing. And the time is tiny, and everything's sort of a bit weird. It's okay. You kind of get used to it after a while. But what it does have is if I turn it to here, it's got an off-road mode, and all I do is I hold in. There's a little button here that says I hold it in for a little while, and there it says on. And what has happened there is very conveniently the traction control has been turned off, and the rear ABS has been turned off. And I wonder how that goes. Oh, there we go. Hello, that was some wheel spin. There's some more wheel spin. It's got adventure tires on this thing, not knobblies, adventure. Which means it can do that whole wheel spinny sort of thing.
There is more off-roadiness that we missed, and that has to do with the Showa suspension. Those big piston forks and the gas monoshock each deliver 150 millimeters of suspension travel. Again, that's not class leading, but it means that the forks are 11 millimeters higher than the road bike, and the rear shock is 20 millimeters higher than the road bike. And that certainly helps.
So the suspension is raised compared to the road bike, obviously, but it's, if I'm honest, I mean, it could have been a little bit higher. It is still a little bit firm. I mean, this road's quite bumpy. Oh, there we go. On the road, on the tar road, it's very nice and plush and everything like that, but it's a little bit bumpy for these sort of roads. And still, even then, it's not bad. I mean, I've been riding my Ferrari around, and that's got proper, like, off-road suspension. So I suppose it's not really fair. Just about all adventure bikes will feel bumpy on the road like this. The suspension's quite simple on this bike. You look down, this forks have zero adjustment, zero anything. That's in a way is good. I mean, it's bad because it's not the most sophisticated suspension, so it doesn't handle the bumps as well as, some of the other suspension. But on the other hand, if they had put sophisticated suspension on this bike, we wouldn't be paying 110,000 Rand for it, we'd be paying 150,000 Rand for it. And suddenly the suspension doesn't look so bad, does it?
The frame is steel with an aluminium swing arm and a bolt-on subframe that makes crashing less expensive. The entire thing, with a full sump of oil and all 13 liters of fuel on board, weighs in at 179 kilograms.
And it's light. This bike is light and it's nimble. I mean, I know 179 kilograms, you kind of look at that and you think, oof, that's a bit, but it's really not. Again, what's so nice about a bike like this one is how much confidence it inspires. You're riding it, it's not riding you. And, you like having bikes that, in a way, ride you. They scare the living daylights out of you, and that's good. You like to be scared. You're riding bikes. You're not commuting in a little hatchback or something like that. You're riding bikes. But this doesn't. You feel in control. And feeling in control has its positives.
So, here we have a bike that goes some way to living up to its namesake. No, it's not a full-on off-roader, but it is also far more than simply a styling exercise. It'll go into the great unknown, and more so, it'll make you feel darn good while doing so.
It makes you want to go places, that other bikes wouldn't. So it's got the adventure capabilities. It really does. But at the same time, it makes you feel cool. It's in the same way as a speed. It's just, Triumph are so good at that. They will not build a bike that looks spectacular. I mean, they have a sort of German pedantry about looking good. Even on their models that are sort of, shall we say, lower on the price range, that are built more to kind of a price, like this one. But yet they're like, no, it's got to look good, it's got to be classy, it's got to be up there, and every detail has to be beautiful. It works, it functions. Here I am, I've been riding around on a dirt road, having a great time, and it's beautiful.